Hey Vikings, this is Will Zwerneman, the assistant editor for the Norseman, and I'm here with football offensive coordinator Chris Johnson. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So I know you graduated from Brown High in 2014, and looking through the old yearbooks, it looks like you were like the student and athlete like everyone wants to be.
Um, I guess maybe you can say that, but yeah, I mean, it's my time in high school. I mean, my parents, they stressed, the importance of um performing in the classroom first because without that, nothing you do on the field matters. So, just through my upbringing, all my years of school, that was a focus for me. I had to make sure that I was performing, taking care of business, doing what I needed to do in the classroom, and all of that stuff translated onto the field because I'm a firm believer, and how you do anything is how you do everything. So
Can you tell us a little bit about your time at like Brown High and what you did while you were in school?
yeah, to be honest, kind of being back, not a lot has really changed. It seems like field house still looks the same, locker room smells the same. There's even a handful of familiar faces that are still here on campus from teachers that I had before that are still maybe not necessarily teaching anymore, but still employed in the district. They're still working here. So there's a lot of familiarity with coming back as a coach from when I was in school here. A lot is the same.
Are any of your football coaches still here?
Actually, yes. Coach Rice, our secondary coach, he was actually my Algebra 2 teacher when I was a sophomore.
He's mine too right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Great guy. One of my all-time favorites. But yeah, he was my Algebra 2 teacher, and my sophomore season, he was actually my position coach as well because I played free safety my sophomore year before going back to quarterback the following year.
What's it like coming back to Bryan High as a coach and a teacher?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been great so far. This is actually being my second stint to be back at Bryan High because when I started teaching and coaching, my first 2 years were here at Bryan High. But being back it's been great. Just seeing a lot of the familiar faces still kind of walking the halls. Just having that opportunity to be back, in my hometown, the city of Bryan's always, had a special place in my heart. So, being able to come back and just have an impact on the next generation of, student athletes coming from my hometown just means that much more to me.
So, Mr. Rubin, he was your principal at Sam Rayburn.
Sam Rayburn, yes, he was. Yep.
What's that like working with him?
It's been great. Yeah, Mr. Bubin. I've known Mr. Bubin for a while. He's a great guy. I'm just grateful to him. He played a pretty big part in getting me bringing me back, allowing me the opportunity to kind of launch my teaching and coaching career here. I'm really thankful to him for that.
So you went to Baylor to play quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like, and like how did it prepare for you where you are now?
Yeah, my experience there was great. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Met a lot of good friends there that I still keep in contact with to this day. For me, I'd say probably the most important thing that I kind of took away from my time there as a student athlete there was how critical like the mental aspect of being able to perform on the field, how that's equally as important, if not more, than the physical aspect of playing in the game. Just kind of how you process things. Because when all things are equal, from a physicality standpoint, the mental part is kind of what ends up deciding the game a lot of times. And I think that's kind of a thing that, especially at the high school level, might not get, might not be talked about as much. But I think is an important aspect of being able to perform on the field is the mental aspect.
You feel like playing at Baylor gave you a little bit more respect, a little bit more clout with your players now?
I don't know. Maybe it did, but at the same time, no. Like I never want to seem like I'm above reproach. I think that also goes a long way, kind of with our players. Just um, I guess just never. I guess putting myself out there as if like I know everything, like I have all the answers, because I don't. Like I'm still human, I'm still learning, and I make mistakes. So from that aspect, I still, I kind of want them to see me that way.
The big money question: what made you want to become a coach?
Yeah. For one, just through the game of football, this is my years growing up. Like I've learned so many lessons that equate to like my everyday life. Things that I've learned that I carry with me to this day. And what better way to have an impact on like a young high school student than using the game of football as a medium to teach them those things. Because I mean, in our program, and Coach Tullis, he does a great job of instilling some of those values in our guys. He talks about it all the time, that the things that we're asking them to do, things that we ask them to do in terms of being committed to our football program are things that they're going to have to take into their own lives when they become husbands, when they become fathers, when they get that job and they have to show up on time. All those things come into play 10 years, 20 years down the line, whatever it may be.
So when you left Bryan High, did you ever think you'd be back as a coach?
In the back of my mind, I'll say I think I always hoped that I would have the chance to come back. Just kind of like I mentioned earlier, that my hometown, it's always had a special place in my heart, and being able to just have the opportunity, just by the grace of God and the great people that are here that played a part in helping me get back. Just having the opportunity to give back, serve my community, and work with the next generation of student athletes is something that I'll always be grateful for, having the opportunity to do.
What are your professional goals? Like you're the OC right now. So do you plan on being the head coach somewhere?
Yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, I'd love to take that next step and become a head coach someday. Lead a program, and then once I retire from being a head coach, probably an athletic director would be the next step after that one.
What are some of the things that you think have stayed the same or changed since your time as a Viking?
I guess just kind of from the looks of campus, like everything still looks the same, still kind of feels the same, kind of like I talked about earlier. I could be wrong about this, but it doesn't feel like there's as many students kind of walking the halls. It seems like there's maybe a little bit smaller, kind of from a population standpoint. Just because thinking back, from what I remember, like Silver and Blue campus was pretty much full like all the time. Doesn't seem like there's as much traffic on Blue now. Seems like there's a lot more going on Silver campus, but just kind of thinking back to when I was here, it seemed like there was always like just moving from between your class schedule, you might bounce back and forth between Silver and Blue a couple of times out of the day, just because there's teachers kind of spread out on both campuses. But now it seems like there's a lot more geared towards Silver campus.
Yes, sir. Is there anything you would like to bring back to the program since your time as a player?
I wouldn't necessarily say bring back, but definitely want to keep promoting just the pride aspect of what it means to be a Bryan Viking. Is something since I've been back, since I got back here in late April, has been kind of my main focus of kind of instilling in our guys is that, I mean, like I kind of mentioned before, is that just having that taking pride in just doing the little things right. And that's everything from, everything you do on the football field to in the classroom. How you do, like I said earlier, like how you do anything is how you do everything. So I think that's been kind of the main thing that I've been trying to get our guys to buy into.
Okay, and last question. Do you prefer the Dallas Cowboys or the Houston Texans?
Oh, man.
If you had to pick.
Sadly, I am a Dallas Cowboys fan at heart. I am.
Yeah.
But the Houston Texans are on the come up for sure.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to add or anything?
No, I'm just grateful. Grateful to be have this opportunity to be where I am, and there's so many people I'd have to thank and give credit to, and there's one person that I'd like to shout out that I should like way more than I do, but my wife for sure. She's been since she's been with me like on this journey since I started, and I know things are kind of tough on her like during the season, during the fall, like I'm gone a lot, but she does everything she can. She holds down the fort at home with the 2 kids when I'm not there. Gives me words of encouragement when I'm being kind of hard on myself, thinking things aren't going well. She's right there to pick me up and get me back going. So definitely got to thank her for everything.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this podcast.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.